Went to sell my dad's war medal after he passed away. The pawn shop owner took one look at them, then picked up the phone and said, CIA. I asked him what the hell he was doing and he told me to hold on. I wasn't going to wait around for the CIA, so I grabbed the medal and started walking out the door. He quickly hung up, ran around the counter and caught me before I could leave and said, Stop. Okay, I'll explain. Please come back in. I responded, fine, but none of this CIA crap. Not until you tell me what the hell you know about this medal. He nodded in agreement, locked the door and turned the sign to say closed. He held up the war medal and, in his thick Russian accent, he said, let me ask you a few questions. First, did your father buy this from someone? I responded, no. He told me that he was awarded it by a Russian oligarch. The owner said, do you know what year he gave it to him? I didn't. Where was your father born? Indiana. I was starting to get impatient and asked him, how much is it worth? He said, let me check. He held the medal up and looked at it through a magnifying lens. Then out of nowhere, I felt an electrical current waving through my body. I dropped backwards to the ground, looked up and saw he was tasing me. He took my medal and ran to the back of his shop. I got up as quickly as I could, had to quickly recover and chase him. I leaped over the counter and sprinted into the back. He was old, so I had a few extra steps on him. I made it out back and saw him running towards his car. He got in, quickly locked the doors and cranked the engine. I slammed my elbow through his car window, splashing his face with shards of glass. I got cut up pretty bad, grabbed him by his shirt collar and tried to grab for the car keys, but he hit the gas and started dragging half of my body down the street. My feet were bouncing off of the asphalt as he picked up speed. I was getting really pissed, so I bit his cheek, grabbed the keys and ripped them out of the ignition. The brakes locked. The car spun out and stopped. I punched him across the face, grabbed the medal and climbed out of the car. I got home that night and saw two men in suits waiting by the front door for me. Hey, we're with the CIA. They saw me tense up. Don't be alarmed. We just want to chat. Whenever someone says don't be alarmed, I become alarmed. I gestured for us all to go inside and one of them said, we need to see that medal. I said, nope, that's not yours. It was my dad's and now it's mine. I don't have to show it to you if I don't want to. The lead agent responded, actually, if that's stolen property, you do. I knew my rights and said, if you guys are going to charge me for a crime, then do it. Otherwise, we're done here. They both glared at me. They were obviously used to having most people tell them everything they know. The lead agent said, we need to verify that medal you have is indeed what we think it is. And if that's true, then your father was not who you think he was. I smirked. My father wrestled in Russia when he was a teenager and won a tournament by beating an oligarch's son. He pinned him twice, which gave my dad the victory. His trophy was the medal. My dad was born in Gary, Indiana. I have proof. They wanted me to show them, so I pulled out my dad's birth certificate. They took one look at it and said, this is a fake. They tore it in half and showed me the style of paper that was used to make fakes back then. I swallowed hard. My guts churned. I said, fine. Can you examine the medal here or do you need to take it in? They said, we'll need to take the medal and you in for further questioning. I had nothing to hide and wanted to know more about who my dad really was and if there was any truth to this at all. That was a huge mistake. I sat in a small cold room at a sub-branch of the CIA for 6 hours. Then finally, the lead CIA agent came in with the medal and said, we believe your father's real name was Dmitry Kespov and he was a Russian spy turned notorious thief. He was wanted in 17 different countries for high-end art and jewelry theft. Interpol has notified us that if he's now deceased, they want to thoroughly question his next of kin, which would be you. I started sweating and asked, what does that mean? It means that you will be dragged around from country to country, answering for your father's criminal acts for the next few years of your life. My entire life was turned upside down. I lost my job, my girlfriend, and my close friends. I spent the next 6 years having to answer for what my corrupt father did. After year 6, I had enough of the questioning, so I escaped the grip of the CIA, fled to Russia, and became a thief. I might as well follow in Daddy's footsteps.